Yo, what's up everyone? It's Pixie. I'm chilling. I've just moved, but I have a really important spirit message for some of you guys. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but some of you really need to hear this because you are about to go through a really big wake-up call around your relationships. And you have been going through this cycle for a long time where when people are in a relationship to you, you make them feel magical and you have so much potential to create and bring positive change to people's lives. And most of the time, you help people in ways that they don't even and can't even acknowledge. And some people have no idea where they would be without you, but they do not assign the value or the contribution accurately. The way that you have contributed to their life, they are not in direct relationship. It's not being mirrored to you through them, how much you've really changed their life and how much you've really impacted. And it's left you feeling unrecognized, unworthy, and feeling like you deserve more. The way that your energy is, you are such a positive person. And I don't mean like toxic positivity. I mean, you have a genuinely good heart and genuinely good intentions. You carry such a pure awareness and a genuine heart that wants to get better and wants to unweave itself from karmic lessons, remove itself from obligation energy, and you want to live your life in a free way without indebting yourself to all of these emotional complications and hurt, and spending so much of your time and so much of your body soaking in anticipation, anxiety over how these relationships outside of you that you've gotten yourself into, that you've gotten yourself enmeshed with, how are they going to treat you today? How are they going to communicate with you today? So I hope you're following me so far because I'm just like going. So you're about to go through a huge breakthrough where you are realizing that you are priceless, you are worthy, and you no longer have the space, the spoons, the energy to deal with these types of relationships anymore. And part of this dynamic that's been going on is that you haven't been properly accredited for the positive change that you have made in people's lives. And you also haven't accredited it to yourself either, though. Yes, other people can be the mirror of acknowledgement that you're waiting on to tell you, hey, you, insert name here, you really helped me. You've really created positive change in my life. Sometimes it has to be you that starts to acknowledge that actually you bring a lot to the table. And actually, when people are in proximity to you, things do start to happen. But the thing is, there is a huge part of, it's like the missing piece of the puzzle. Like, why is everything such a shit show? And it's because you keep getting involved with people that aren't on your level. You keep playing with under-leveled players. You keep trying to play around with, fool around with people that aren't on your level. And some of you are stuck. Some of you are level 30s. We're making video game references now. Okay, hi. Some of you are literally level 30, could be an age, right? You are geared, you have gear, you've killed monsters, you've slain demons, you have been in enough fights, you've been in enough battles, you've got enough experience now, and you keep hanging around with the level 15s. You keep hanging around with the level 10s. Maybe some of them are in like the level 20s. And you're trying to gear them up. You are using your energy to overcompensate for what they lack because you want to play your game of life with them. A part of this comes from a wound of you not feeling worthy and you're not feeling good enough. You inwardly are kind of convinced that you're a level 15 and that's the only people that want to play with you. And you've always been othered. You've always felt left out. You never have really fit in. You don't quite know where you're at with things, and you know, maybe through temporary phases you kind of find your spot, but in the phases it feels good, it's because you've kind of found the domain that you own, and you haven't been too concerned about where everyone else is at. And there's a woundedness, you know, of just like you feeling that no one else, like, you know, I'm gonna say it. The wound is that you don't think that the people who are on your level will want to be friends with you, or want to date you, or want to be your boyfriend, or want to be your girlfriend. You don't even know that those people exist. And Spirit wants you, through this message, if you're listening to this video right now, is to penetrate your aura right now and be like, hey, here's an introduction to that idea that the people that are at your level, they exist and they're waiting for you. They've been looking for you. Y'all waiting on each other in the energies of things. Y'all waiting on each other. Some of you might have just found this video now and it's happening here, you know, like, oh yeah, damn, like that's where my energies were at this whole time. And everyone's waiting on each other, and there's just needs to be more encouragement, more connection to the idea that these people at your level do want to be friends with you and do want to like play with you and play the game of life with you and party up with you and kill demons and monsters together with you. And for those that are like on their heavy spiritual path where you're literally doing inner meditations and doing your shadow work, you're gonna find people who are at that level, who are understanding, perceiving, got those levels of awareness that you have, that you think are weird, that you think are abstract, that you think is like, oh shoot, is that something I should say to people? Is that something I should share with people? You're gonna find them. You're gonna find them, and you need to know that they exist, and you need to continue to introduce yourself to the idea that the future reality that you want for yourself exists, and that there are communities, friends, people that are at your level waiting for you. So please stop wasting your time with under-leveled players and then getting your self-worth confused, mixed up, and attached to what they think of you and the level that they're playing at. Yeah, you keep mixing up your sense of self-esteem with the level that others are playing at. If somebody can't be honest with you, why are you getting your self-esteem mixed up with that? Why is your sense of self getting mixed up with another person's ability to be transparent and honest with you? Yeah, that's on them. That's not on you. And there is a whole process right now happening with so many of you separating your energies, separating these deeper wounded enmeshments that have happened, where you get yourself mixed up and you have, over long periods of time in this life and maybe even in past lives, you have crossed your wires and got yourself tripped up. You are untangling these webs and these layers of bullshit and narratives and attachments and the misinterpretation of reality into things that affirm your wounds. You are clearing that. And for those that are on my Patreon, we spoke about this message from a flower essence called Red Yarrow. So if this message is resonating with you, I'd highly recommend checking out the Red Yarrow message that we did, because it spoke about how Red Yarrow as a flower essence really wants to help organize and separate out these internalized energies, these moments where we've internalized, wounded, painful energies. We've consumed things that make us feel like we are bleeding on the inside. Now, for my feminine energies out there, this is kind of like one of the core feminine wounds, which is like abandonment. And when feminine energy goes through abandonment, it turns into kind of like an intense vacuum. This is lessening. We're turning down the intensity of how our energy fearfully attaches onto things. And on the other side of things, for my masculines, my men, my masculine women, whatever, you know, energy, more masculine side of energies, right? And I'm an advocate for more and androgyny. We can be both, For my masculines, this is on the other side of things. You learning to connect with people better, you learning to be more transparent, more honest, allowing yourself to take accountability for your part that you play in watching, witnessing, taking part in other people being a vacuum, and you just sit and be a bystander. And that's not to say you need to stand in it and become some kind of like plug or something that fills up the space that's created within the vacuum of the wounded feminine, but you are so petrified of connection. So this is the wake up call for you, is the opposite of that energy. When we're talking on these like spirit messages, and especially because this is like collective vibes, there is always going to be like the opposite to this. So we're going to speak to the opposites of the first part, which is you are learning to respect and appreciate people. And if you don't, you're going to get you're going to get cut out if you do not learn to love on people and love on the people who have changed your life for the better, who have been positive catalysts in your life. You will lose them. You will lose them. They need the recognition that they need. And please self-reflect if your tendency to withhold love, affirmation, and recognition is from a place where you feel like you deserve recognition that you're not getting, because this is mirroring out. If you are somebody who doesn't freely give love, affirmation, recognition, and did I say affirmation? Affirmation, you don't affirm people. Why that? Why are you entitled to that? Yet you're not somebody who gives that out anyway. In your life, you need to be a conduit to it. And it's so important that you don't have strings attached to that, to being a conduit of that energy, because I'm hearing now like a very like intense voice of like, well, I have been nice. Well, I have been a conduit. Well, I have been generous. I have been grateful. And like, I was taken for granted. I was betrayed. I was this, I was that. There's so much avoidance energy as well, where it's like, no, like I don't want to take responsibility for my part to play in the dynamic. As we were saying earlier, like the feminine has this like over connection vacuum issue where it like tries to vacuum and suck in to create connection. The masculines, you guys are doing this thing where you keep pushing out and finding ways to energetically push whatever you can out and avoid connection. So there are wake-up calls happening. If you are listening to this now, please love on yourself right now. Notice what relationships in you keep causing confusion, keep causing you frustration, and the relationships that literally make you feel tired in your bones, tired in your one second, I just heard there is some shit that does not want you to hear this message right now. Okay, so you are pulling away now from resentful energy that you do not deserve. You do not deserve to be in proximity to resent. That is not you anymore. That is not what you deserve anymore. You are stepping into higher levels of self-worth that have nothing to do with resent. You deserve celebration. You deserve to have your positive attributes, your positive catalyst, your positive contribution. Everything that you bring to the table needs to be loved. And the thing is too, level 15s, they're never going to be able to appreciate what a level 30 has gone to because they've never fucking been there. Level 15s are not going to be able to appreciate, respect the time that it took you to get to level 30, because all they're going to do is just like underestimate it. So many people underestimate like really what it takes to get to the level of place that you want to get to as well. So yeah, invite in this wake-up call. Let it empower you. Know that you do not need to be defined by these level 15 relationships. You're over them. You're growing out of them. Don't let yourself get too convinced by victimhood and wounding that, you know, this is like devastating. Like, level up, act your level, act your level, act your level. Okay, All right. I love you guys. Take care. Bye.
Make sure you hit the buttons and shit.